Gold has always been a symbol of power, a symbol of wealth, and a symbol of stability. And today, we're talking about the country that holds the biggest official gold reserve in the world, the United States of America. Most people hear that fact and just move on, but the real question is, why does the US hold so much gold, and what does that really mean for the world? In this video, we're breaking it all down: how much gold the US has, why it has so much, what purpose it serves, and how this giant stockpile shapes the global economy. So, let's start with the foundation. The US holds a massive gold reserve, over 8,000 tons of it. That makes it the largest official holder of gold anywhere on the planet. And this isn't just some ordinary gold. These are government-held reserves locked away in some of the most secure vaults ever created. When you hear about gold reserves, this is what countries use as the backbone for financial credibility and stability. And the US has more of it than anyone else. Most of this gold is stored deep underground, in heavily protected vaults with strict security, like Fort Knox. These gold bars just sit there, not for spending or trading, but as a long-term anchor for the country's financial base. Think about it. Currency can fall, markets can crash, and banks can fail. But gold stays gold. That's the real reason countries keep these reserves. And it's one of the biggest reasons the US continues to dominate global finance. So why does this matter so much? Well, a massive gold reserve brings confidence. It tells the rest of the world that your currency has a real backbone. It shows that your financial system, isn't just built on hope and promises it's built on something tangible. Investors, other countries, and global markets all look at these reserves as a sign of trust. They want to know that the country issuing the world's most powerful currency also has a form of physical wealth to back it up. And the US has more of that wealth than anyone else. Gold itself doesn't move much, but its meaning certainly does. When global tensions rise, when inflation skyrockets, or when currencies start to struggle, gold becomes the ultimate safe haven. People run towards gold. Governments do too. And when the price of gold goes up, the countries holding the most of it suddenly become even stronger, at least on paper. That's one of the secret strengths behind the US position. Its gold reserve grows in value automatically every time there's global uncertainty. It's like having a savings account that inflates itself during a crisis. But here's the interesting part. The United States doesn't use this gold for day-to-day transactions. It doesn't sell it off to pay bills. It doesn't treat it like cash. This gold is a shield. It's a backup plan, a powerful, confident signal. It's there purely to guarantee stability, to maintain trust in the US dollar, trust in the economy, and trust in the country's global role. So, why does the US hold so much more gold than other nations? The answer goes back decades, to a long history of economic dominance, global trade influence, and the sheer power of the American financial system. As the US became the world's leading economic center after World War II, gold naturally concentrated there. Other countries traded with the US, stored their own gold in US vaults for safekeeping, or simply relied on the stability of American financial systems. Over time, the US ended up with the world's largest share of official gold reserves, a position it still holds today. And when people ask, does holding gold really matter in the modern digital world? The answer is, absolutely, yes. In an age where money is digital, currencies fluctuate wildly, and global markets swing on a dime. Gold remains the one thing every nation agrees on. It's universal, it's stable, and it's immune to politics. That's why the US continues to hold on to its massive reserve. It's a long-term strategic tool, a foundation for credibility, a symbol of enduring power. If you look at the world's biggest economies today, many of them are actually increasing their gold reserves. They're buying more, they're storing more, they're preparing for long-term uncertainty. But even with all of that buy-in, the US remains far ahead of everyone else. The gap is huge, and that gap translates directly into influence. These gold reserves give the US a different kind of power: quiet, steady, unshakable foundation. It strengthens the confidence behind the US dollar. It gives reassurance during global crises. It creates trust during unpredictable times. And it reinforces the idea that, no matter what happens in the global markets, the US has something real and tangible supporting its entire financial system. So what does this all mean for the average person watching this video? It means that a country's strength isn't just measured by its GDP, or its military size, or its market performance. It is also measured by its reserves, by what a nation keeps for stability, and what it stores to protect itself against future uncertainty. Gold is one of those ultimate assets, and the US controls the largest supply of it among all nations. When you look at the global financial system, the fact that the US has the largest gold reserve plays a huge role in its global influence. It helps keep the US dollar as the world's most trusted currency. It supports confidence in the American financial system, and it shows exactly why gold still matters so much in our modern world, not as money, not as currency, but as ultimate security. In short, the giant gold reserve of the United States isn't just a pile of metal, it's a symbol of stability, a foundation of trust, and a long-term strategic shield that supports the financial power of the country. And that's why the U.S. continues to hold the largest spot reserve in the world and continues to benefit from the powerful position it provides. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this interesting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into how the world really works. See you in the next one.